Good evening. In the world of unexplained mysteries, some stories become legends, none more so than that of George Adamski. Adamski claimed not only to see flying saucers, but to befriend the beings who flew them. His tales helped shape everything we think we know about UFOs. He presented photographs of alien spacecraft and wrote best-selling books about his conversations with wise, beautiful beings from Venus and Saturn. In a time of Cold War anxiety, Adamski offered a comforting idea that we weren't alone and our cosmic neighbors were watching over us. A humble cafe owner at the base of a mountain, Adamski became an international celebrity, meeting with officials and royalty, all because he said he'd spoken with aliens. His detailed accounts of life on other planets fascinated a generation. Whether you believe him or not, you can't deny his impact on the flying saucer phenomenon. Tonight, we'll peel back the layers of this extraordinary story. We'll look at the man, his claims, and the evidence he presented. Why were so many captivated by his tales of cosmic friendship, while others dismissed him as a fraud? It's a journey back to the golden age of UFOs, a time of wonder and suspicion. Was Adamski a genuine contactee or just a clever storyteller? Let's find out. Before he became the world's most famous alien contactee, George Adamski was a man of many trades. Born in Poland in 1891, he emigrated to America as a child and grew up in New York. He worked as a handyman, contractor, and even a bootlegger during Prohibition. In the 1920s, Adamski moved to California, where his interest in mysticism blossomed. He founded the Royal Order of Tibet and lectured on universal law, positioning himself as a spiritual teacher. By the 1940s, Adamski and his wife settled near Palomar Observatory, opening a small cafe. There, with his own telescope, his focus shifted from the spiritual to the celestial. He began photographing strange lights in the sky, years before the UFO craze. Adamski wasn't just a bystander. He'd been preparing for this moment his whole life. His background in mysticism gave him a framework for understanding beings from other worlds. His experience as a lecturer gave him confidence to speak to crowds, and his location at Palomar lent him credibility. The stage was set for an encounter that would change his life and the story of UFOs forever. The ordinary cafe owner was about to become an intergalactic ambassador. November 20th, 1952, Mojave Desert, California. Adamski, with 6 friends, claimed to witness a huge cigar-shaped ship hovering in the sky. A smaller saucer descended and landed nearby. Adamski approached the craft alone, feeling calm rather than afraid. A figure emerged, human-like, with long blonde hair and a shimmering jumpsuit. Adamski called him Orthon, a visitor from Venus. They communicated through telepathy and gestures. Orthon warned of humanity's dangerous path, especially our use of nuclear weapons. The encounter was brief but profound. Orthon returned to his ship, allowing Adamski to inspect the saucer but not photograph him. The craft left behind strange footprints, which Adamski's friends cast in plaster. These casts and the testimony of his companions became the foundation of his story. Adamski claimed he had made contact. For him, nothing would ever be the same. The world too would soon hear his tale. This single encounter launched Adamski into the spotlight. His story would soon captivate and divide the world. The age of the contactee had begun. Adamski's story wasn't just about seeing a spaceship. It was about the message he claimed to receive. Orthon's warning was clear. Earth's use of atomic energy threatened not just our planet, but the balance of the cosmos. The Venusians saw humanity as reckless, playing with forces we didn't understand. They came not to conquer, but to guide us away from self-destruction. Orthon's message was wrapped in a broader philosophy. We'd lost our connection to the universal intelligence. The visitors lived in harmony, free of war and poverty, because they understood all life is connected. Their message, Look up from your machines. Remember the spiritual truths you've forgotten. In the tense 1950s, this was a message of hope. Adamski offered an alternative to Cold War fear, a vision of cosmic brotherhood. Orthan's warning was an invitation to grow up as a species and join a peaceful galactic community. For many, it was a beacon in a dark time. After the desert encounter, Adamski's claims grew even more extraordinary. He said the Venusians invited him aboard their ships. In 1953, he described being taken into a Venusian scout ship, controlled by thought, filled with colored lights. Orthan and a Saturnian master guided him. He claimed to see Earth from space, visit the far side of the moon, and tour a massive mothership. Inside he saw gardens, advanced technology, and beings from many worlds living in harmony. He was shown visions of Earth's past and possible future. These stories became the centerpiece of his best-selling book, Inside the Spaceships. For his followers, the vivid details were proof. Adamski was no longer just a contactee, he was a cosmic explorer. His tales inspired thousands to look to the stars. For believers, he was chosen to witness the wonders of the universe. Adamski claimed the space beings shared profound wisdom about life and the universe. He called them the Space Brothers or Masters. They told him all planets in our solar system were inhabited, Venus a paradise, Mars industrial, even Jupiter and Saturn home to life on other planes. Their core teaching life is a journey of the soul, a cycle of learning and growth across worlds. Earth, they said, is a challenging school for souls to overcome materialism and conflict. The ultimate goal returned to the divine source. On Venus, there was no money, no disease, and wise counsels led society. Adamski's cosmic philosophy blended ancient mysticism with space-age wonder. He presented old ideas, reincarnation, universal law, in a new, exciting package. For many, it was a vision of what humanity could become. He claimed this wisdom came not from books, but directly from the mouths of spacemen. Adamski offered a cosmic blueprint for a better future. Why did so many believe Adamski's fantastic stories? The 1950s were an era of anxiety and wonder, the dawn of the space age. Adamski's photos and calm, sincere manner made him convincing. He spoke not just of aliens, but of peace and spiritual growth. His message resonated with people tired of war and fear. His books became international bestsellers, and he drew crowds across Europe. For his followers, he was a prophet for the atomic age. Adamski's story offered answers to life's biggest questions: where we come from, why we're here, what happens after death. He connected UFOs to a deep spiritual purpose. For many, it was a new faith for a new age. Believing in Adamski was about more than aliens. It was about hope for humanity. He gave people a reason to look up and believe. His cosmic philosophy filled a void that traditional religion no longer could. For every believer there were skeptics, and plenty of reasons to doubt Adamski. Scientists pointed out that Venus and Mars were hostile to life as he described. His photos looked suspiciously like household objects, and experts found them unconvincing. Adamski's stories changed over time, growing more elaborate. Critics noted his past as a mystical cult leader, suggesting he repackaged old teachings in a new form. Some original witnesses recanted or contradicted his accounts. The scientific impossibilities, questionable photos, and shifting stories painted a picture of a man whose claims rested on shaky ground. To skeptics, Adamski was a showman, not a spaceman. What do we make of George Adamski today? He remains one of the most influential and controversial figures in UFO history. He gave the phenomenon a face and a purpose, inspiring millions to look to the skies. Adamski's legacy is complicated, a pioneer for some, a source of frustration for serious researchers. His outlandish claims made it easy for skeptics to dismiss the entire field. Yet he transformed UFOs from a scientific puzzle into a quest for cosmic connection. Modern spiritual UFO movements trace their roots to Adamski's ideas. Ultimately, his story forces us to ask, do we want UFOs to be a scientific mystery or a source of hope and meaning? Whether messenger or mythmaker, Adamski's story endures, a reminder of our desire to believe we are not alone. Good night.